All right, so I'm on Instagram and I have no clue how it popped up, whether it was Explore page or somebody tagged or something like that. And I see this artist, I had no clue where he was from. I saw this style of artwork and I said, that's dope. Who is this dude? So I click on the profile and I go to the, the website because it said dollar prints. It was a dollar print deal. And I said, wait a second. No artist in their right mind is selling anything for $1, okay? Especially prints of something like really dope. So I try to get multiple ones. Just I don't know if I told you this yet. I tried to get a whole bunch, but they were all sold out. They were limited and they were signed, which was really cool. They were signed, as well as the numbers of the print run.
The
I guess.
Edition, I did 20 of each one.
Yeah, 20 of each one. I was only able to get like 3 or 4. It might have been. I think 3.
Okay.
And I was pissed off. But I think I was at the end of the run also. I heard about it a little bit too late.
Yeah, they went quick.
It went quick, but it's all good though. So anyways, I said, okay, I need to find out who this dude is, Lewy. Okay. So I started doing some little research, whatever, and I'm waiting for my pieces. They came in quick, by the way, thank you. And I noticed that they were from Austin, Texas. I said, wait a second, this dude's from Austin, Texas? And then when I looked, I was like, okay, cool. Then we talked, I contacted you. And you're based out of Austin, but you've obviously traveled all over. You got a bunch of things going on. But the reason why I hit you up to be on this show, okay, and to do a special interview on you was not just because you've got some really dope pieces, okay? But I'm sure that you have a story behind you. Because people that paint something like this probably got something crazy going on in their mind.
I've been through a lot, man.
No, and it's okay. And that's what I want to know. I want to know what your story is, because a creative mind moves at 100 miles an hour and it doesn't get bored. It gets bored easy. Let me rephrase that.
Right.
I'm sure you get bored easy. So that's what I want to know. And for the people watching, who in the hell are you?
So.
Who is Lewy V?
Yeah, I'm Lewy V. I don't really tell people my government name unless you're like a real good friend of mine. And I'll just be slipping it out sometimes.
Yeah, it's all good.
But Lewy V, and that's Lewy. Has to do with my last name.
Okay.
And it's just a flip on my last name.
Which
is, I'll just say Van Lew. We can say that.
Okay.
I can put that out there.
Instead of Van Gogh, Van Lew.
It's really, my last name is Van space Lew. So.
Really?
Yeah, and Lewy V, how I spell it is how my name is spelled, Van Lew. So.
Oh, that's kind of dope. I like that. I like that.
When I was young, everybody called me Lewy V. I played hockey, ice hockey growing up, from 5 years old up to 18. And then I was kind of like forced into it by my dad and stuff.
Just do something, boy.
Yeah, he needed me to get out, make sure I was not being in trouble and stuff, staying out of trouble, make sure I had a sport to play.
What about like video games? Was it maybe because of video games you didn't want you on the games?
I played video games, but it was a good thing. I wanted to play sports, but he wanted me to play that sport. That was the whole thing.
I see. Okay.
So I kind of got over it when I was 18, had the mind of my own. I said no more.
Like,
so
peace, Dad.
Yeah, peace, Dad. I got into this funny thing called Razor scooters.
Okay.
We all had one when we were kids.
Razor scooters. Sounds real. Is that the little real cheapy ones?
Yeah, but so this is what happened. I was 16, 15 at the time. Okay. And I was riding one of those rickety scooters. I started getting bigger, and I started taking it to the skate park. I started seeing kids doing backflips and stuff on them. And I
want to do that.
I was like, oh, what? How's it? I didn't know this was a thing. I've always just been, I could do tail whips. I always thought that was the coolest thing. And I wanted to take it to the next level myself without seeing anybody doing it. And when I saw other people who had already done it, I started getting into, they started modifying the scooters. And making them more rigid and durable so you can do tricks on them.
Yeah, and the pros were.
So this grew into, now I'm like 18. Now we have competitions like everywhere, and I was already traveling at this time because my daddy works for the airlines, and we were flying everywhere. So I could go down to California, where this sport kind of grew a little faster than it did in Washington. Okay. And
So the competitive side was already in you.
Yeah.
Based of years.
Yeah, years. I was really into like being competitive and stuff. So. And the scooter thing kind of took off. I got sponsored and all that stuff, traveled a lot. But I guess I could take it
But
back.
that alone is cool.
Yeah, it was cool. It was like a pro skateboarder, but on a scooter. So.
No, but what you just said, you blew it off like, I travel the world, I got sponsored, but that alone I'm sure is a whole
That's a whole
story
story
in
we could
itself.
go into. Like so I'm trying to like I'm getting deep already. Like
No, but that's still cool though, because that I'm sure the competitive side of you just built up more and more and hungrier to win.
Yeah, so I was one of the first African Americans to be getting paid to ride a scooter. Like I was literally getting paid. They gave me a mansion in California. Like me and this other black guy.
How old were you?
I was 21. I was just turning 21, and we had like a mansion pretty much. And
just to
like,
yourselves.
Yeah, it was just us two and our filmer, and then we'd just go ride the skate parks and all that stuff on our scooters.
What did your dad think about all this? Honestly,
he didn't really like it. He couldn't believe it. Like he didn't understand.
He thought it was bullshit.
He didn't really understand. You know, like he's like, cool, you're doing all that, like whatever you want.
But it's not a real job.
But yeah, it's not a real job. You're not like you don't have your own. You're not paying for that house. Yeah. You don't have like, you know, you're not living like a man. You're just you're having fun. You know, but. Then he saw that I accomplished some things within.
Makes a little bit of money or whatever.
And he saw he kind of came around towards the end of it, but at first he wasn't down for all that. He wanted me to just get a job and do all that stuff. So, but I made sure I proved it to him that I was doing something that was right.
Okay.
And so with that scooter thing, that really kind of enhanced my art career. Yeah. Can I take it back just a little bit?
Yeah. Were you already? Now let me ask you: were you painting, drawing? Yeah. How did that play into all of this, or was it already ongoing?
So when I was young, I was always drawing, but I was more into like architecture, building stuff with building blocks at daycare, Legos and stuff like that, and Legos, all that. Yeah. I was into building. In school, I finally got into like art, being able to take art classes. Okay. And, like, I was always drawing, but I finally got to take art classes.
Did you ever get into graffiti or?
Yeah, later on, once I got older and that was more around, like when I started riding scooters, being at the skate park all the time.
Yeah, you see the tags
skate culture and all that stuff came into play. I had a friend who was a graffiti artist, and he really taught me how to do letters and stuff. And then I took that, I did that, and then I got in trouble and I stopped doing graffiti. So I just kind of like,
it ain't worth
it.
Well, not publicly, somewhere publicly.
Yeah, I got in trouble, so I just stopped doing that. And then I just really got into like the fine art side of things in high school, and then graphic design really kind of like was introduced to me in senior year, and I took classes, and I was like, man, I want to make my own T-shirts and stuff. I could do anything with this. I could put my art and make it like huge and put it on anything. So I was really.
What year was this, by the way?
2007, 2008.
Okay, 10, 12 years ago, or whatever. Yeah.
Yeah. So that was really into. That's when I was really into. Like graphic design when I first got introduced to it, and I was like, all right, this is what I'm gonna do with my life. I'm gonna be a graphic designer. I'm gonna I'm gonna learn this all by myself. So I was on YouTube, just like watching videos.
Brand new too, yeah.
Yeah, learning all this stuff, like all the videos I can on YouTube, just jacking the Adobe software, and just because I couldn't afford it. I was a young kid, I couldn't afford it. How am I supposed to ask my mom to pay for
$1,000 or whatever it was at the time?
Computer program that's for graphic design. Like, what is that going to help you with? So I was just like, all right, I'm gonna jack this, figure it out. So I got good with computers, kind of, trying to hack software and all that stuff. And I did that, and got really good at that. And so with the scooters, I got in with a company that just started. They were trying to be a new company within scooters that were making their own parts, and have like a clothing company and all that stuff. And I became the graphic designer for that company. So
you kind of already had a connection with. At the time, you were just done being a pro scooter rider, or what's
no?
that?
I was just starting pretty much.
Oh,
They had me go pro. Like this is the ones that gave me the house and all the stuff. And they were like, all right, you got like you're a graphic designer, you ride good scooters, and you look good.
You're the president and CEO
now.
Kid.
You're a cool kid. Well, my homie was the president pretty much. He's another black guy. It was my age from New York, and they found him, and then he found me through like videos, because YouTube started. This is like all when YouTube is just like starting to get big, and so like all of us are like interacting with each other online, and so people are having contests in California and stuff, and all these kids from other states that ride scooters are watching these contests, and I'm a part of it, so I'm kind of like getting like well known within this little scooter community, and it was.
How do the skaters and this is what I'm going to tell you this.
You mind if I grab a drink?
Yeah, do your thing. Skaters and the biking community, because it's funny you're saying that story. This is years ago. My brother here in Austin used to live with Chase Hawk and Aaron Ross.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm sure you know the names. Yeah, they had a big house and it's kind of the same thing.
It's always
big old house, had like 5, 6, 7 dudes living in there. they were all pros. And I remember going to the house. I don't remember if it was Monster or maybe it was Monster Red Bull. I can't remember.
Mm-hmm.
They had a whole pallet literally sitting in like when you walk out the house in the backyard, a whole pallet of Red Bull or whatever was just sitting there. And I said something. I said, hey, what's up with that? They go, you want some? I'm like, why? They go, well, we'll trade you for some money. It was Chase Hawk said this actually. Yeah. Chase Hawk said, yeah, little skinny dude. Yeah. He goes, yeah, we need to get some money, man. Like, we don't want this. We want some money. Yeah. So I was like, oh, okay. But then it kind of like correlates with what you're talking about to where it's like young kids, throw them in the house, take care of everything. But of course they say, yeah, it's like, how much money are you really making?
Yeah, exactly.
But anyway, so now you're the graphic designer.
Very similar situation.
Yeah.
Very similar situation. Yeah. So I and me and my friend, we always were like the guy that like got me into the business.
Your boy.
Yeah, my boy. His name's Zig Short. Okay. He's one of my best friends. So he implemented into me to always have something extra because obviously this isn't ever going to go on forever.
Yeah, you could break your leg.
And the company that sponsored us, they were like a big, like already like a rollerblading company. So they were already in the action sports. And so they kind of, and the guys that were sponsored by them, they kind of like let us know, hey, this isn't always forever. Like you got to make sure you have something extra.
Are they still around now, by the way, or never?
They're around. The company is around. But they ain't like
not competitively.
Not like it was. It's not. I see. Like okay. It was. And so. We got the extra. We had the extra, so I was like, I'm an artist, so I'm gonna do graphic design. I'm gonna learn this, and that's why that was my extra. And I just tried to fully immerse myself, but the company wasn't like letting me expand like fully. He held me back a lot.
You were an employee to them, not you could do your own thing. Really.
Yeah, it wasn't like I could really fully do what I wanted as a graphic designer. They just, hey, can you make this for me? Can you make this? Yeah. This is only how much I can pay you. So it was kind of like that.
So at the time, you're not really doing much painting then, right?
Nope.
Okay, just digital.
A lot of digital. I'm just drawing. This is really where I hone my drawing skills. Okay. Because as a digital artist, I still was really in touch with like drawing and like, because as a kid I was always drawing, so I wanted to stay with that. And I was also, by the way, I used to do a bunch of graffiti on paper. Yeah, and I really just liked how I could take my digital or my drawings and turn them digital and make them. Like, make them digital and make them be able to go on T-shirts and stuff like that. So
plus they had the equipment too.
It's really, cool. And so it's really my artwork that's being shown. Like it's not like a computer.
It's not version. CG.
You know, like all perfectly cut out and stuff. Yeah. I like that too. I could do that too, and there's a tasteful way to do it in my eyes. So my style was more hand drawings turned into like a vector format that you could place on anything. Yeah. So I got really good at that. I was just trying to hone that skill and make that my thing, and I got it on the bottom of like scooters, all sorts of things, clothes.
That's cool, man.
So, that was that. And then I
and this is still 07-ish, 08, 09 maybe?
Yeah, five or so years go by of this.
2012 now we're
I'm like 24, 25 now. This is 20. So this is 2014. 2014 probably. And I'm traveling on the world with the scooters and stuff, and I'm seeing like in Europe of all this graffiti, and just like brought back my graffiti days real quick. And
let me ask you just real quick. So what was the difference in styles that you saw with foreign, we'll call it foreign, foreign graffiti compared to U.S. graffiti, or was it kind of the same? And I'm not saying that they were biting. I know biting is a big word. It's like that they were biting styles from the U.S., but was it kind of the same?
Totally different.
Really?
Very different, and very different with each country that you go to.
Really?
Yeah. Well, me being an artist, it's really cool to see. Like my eyes, I have a really particular eye, and I could see the difference. It was really cool. Okay. When I'm driving through Germany, you drive along the Autobahn, and that's where for me, that's where I saw a lot of the coolest graffiti, because on the Autobahn they have these huge like metal like walls that go along the Autobahn, and the guys just hop through the doors and get like pieces like all the way down there. You drive for like 5 minutes, 10 minutes, and you'll just keep seeing my head's like sticking out the window looking at this. And so that's what it was like going through Germany, and I'm driving a lot of these places in Europe. And so in like France and like a lot of those places, it's more like in Paris, and it's kind of like that. It's all like kind of like New York-ish a little bit vibes. They kind of I don't want to say bite, but they're more on like the New York kind of vibes.
I see. Okay.
In Barcelona, that was the one that really like took to my heart, and like I really like noticed a big difference of.
Did you like that style more?
Yeah, it was just really colorful and inviting and happy, and not so. I like against each other and dark and like. You know, I don't know. In the city is really beautiful and bright and colorful like California. You know, and like with the European oldish texture. You know, it was really.
So it was more like graffiti that they would want to keep there rather than take it off.
I saw a lot more characters. I saw a lot more, just more inviting artwork. You know, it was more colorful, and they have a lot of like businesses with the gates on it, right? Like New York with the pull down metal gates, and like a lot of the businesses just keep them because they just have so many, and like they're really cool. I mean, and you only see them at night. So at night you just go down and you just see all this cool graffiti everywhere. So
that's really dope.
So Barcelona really hit me. There's an artist out there called Pez, and he did like a little shark kind of guy, a little cartoony shark, and that was what really hit me, and I kind of like wanted to create my own character. So I created my own little staple character. It was a squid. It was like a cyclops squid, and it had like a big old grin and a bunch of like fat tentacles, like curly tentacles. And so if you go back in my archives, I got like a bunch of squids that I sold, paintings, and like down the line I created this character. So I created my squid. I come back to the States after Europe, right? And
having the time of your life.
I'm having the time of my life, right? And I'm finally getting back into like my own drawing for myself. Like I had a reason to draw for myself. I was always drawing for scooters and stuff, making scooter designs. And I had something to draw for myself, the little squids. I was drawing it on everything: shoes, clothes, other people's scooters, all that stuff. People started like taking attention to it. I was drawing on my own shoes, and then I posted on Instagram, and kids wanted their own. So I would
because Instagram was fairly 2012, 2013.
Yeah, it was,
I think Instagram
just
came
started,
out.
Like, and that's how I kind of
getting popular at least.
I started getting a little popular with that. I was putting art on my shoes, and then people were buying it. It was really cool. After I started like my character, I went out to New York City. My friend Zig, he was from New York. We went out there. I stayed at his house for like 3 months. And I just took in New York culture heavily. I had a friend out there named Angel who also rode scooters, and we went out in the nighttime. Like we looked like kids because we're on scooters with backpacks, and I just tagged everywhere. He showed me he was a local in Brooklyn, so he just kind of like
he knew where to go.
It was safe. I'm kind of a wuss when it comes to that. I'm not trying to get in trouble. I've already got in trouble. I don't want to deal with that. I don't belong in jail, all that. He just like showed me to some pretty chill spots where we're still like, you know, I gotta duck every time the train come by because I'm painting in the tunnel and going over people that are like legends. But this is cool. I got up everywhere and I was respected. They did like the OGs. I got them in my black book. I got people from the 80s in my black book. I got Trap New York City. I got a lot of people out there, and it was really cool. I was getting some, you know, respect. I clipped some legend and they left it there, let me rock. It was crazy. So I was just like, wow, because I was hanging out with them at their art shows. I'd always go up to them, be like, what's up, smoke with them, and, you know, get them to sign my book, talk with them, and they're like, oh, where are you from? I'm like, I'm from California. And so they just kind of recognized me as the young California kid that was just out there getting it. And I just kind of took that and I kind of played with the graffiti thing for a little bit. I don't know, I just got into it, and I was living in California still. This is before I came to Austin or anything. I just kind of was into graffiti, just kind of drawing a lot, and I still wasn't really doing it on canvas. But then I don't know, something clicked where I wanted to.
What year was this that you finally said, I need to put something to canvas?
I think it was 2015.
Okay, 4 years ago?
Yeah, I think 2015 was 4 years ago. 2015, I started painting on canvas. I painted a couple. I gave one to my grandma. My mom started seeing them. She was like, oh, I want one. So I sent her one. And I had my girl at the time. She was like giving me a little bit of inspiration. All my people around me were giving me like, yo, you're painting good. Like you should keep doing this. So I just kept painting and I kept putting them on canvas. Then I finally had like a little series of them. Like I did like these little mini ones. Like,
what was it? Well, let me ask you, was it this style though?
No, this is my squid. This is what I'm telling you.
Okay.
Like, I'm into my squid right now.
Okay.
Still painting these little like my little character that I made, and just kind of like using my character to like get good at painting because of the lines and just getting it smooth and learning how to play with colors and all this stuff.
How they blend over and put
really
one over
poppy
another.
And like making it stand out and morphing my squid with popular culture, using like popular items like or stuff that I liked, and just kind of like making him hold, because the squid has all these arms, right? Yeah. So he could hold a bunch of things like joints and beer and a golf club or whatever, all these cool things that I like doing. Or
what was the significance of a squid though?
I like.
Why did you?
I like marine life.
Everything?
I really like marine life. Like if I could be reincarnated, I'd be like a turtle, a sea turtle. I think that would be the coolest thing. Just like it's like you're flying, but you're also in the ocean.
Yeah, true.
Cool. You can breathe underwater. So.
But why the squid though? Was it maybe something from when you were younger?
I don't know. I like octopus. Okay, so I like the octopus because it's such an interesting creature. Okay. I've learned a lot. I don't know. Once I started painting it, I really did some research about it. Yeah. And I was like, man, they could change colors and like take their surrounding around them, and like they can manipulate. So like.
Yeah, they can
just manipulate
morph into whatever
all this stuff. So I was like, man, I could take that whole idea of morphing into whatever they want, and just I took my character and morphed it into Batman. I morphed it into Spider-Man. I morphed it into all these popular, like I'm saying, like popular, and it's still a squid. Like it has the one eye and all the tentacles, but it has a Batman suit on, and like the mask and all that.
That's crazy.
Yeah. So, like you gotta go back in my archive to,
I was gonna
do
say,
this to look at it.
Do you still got those?
Yeah, I have prints of it. I got everything still. Wow. So I'm gonna be making a book with Dre out there in a little bit. Like probably 2020, it'll be like a whole book of Louis V. Like so that all these new people that are finding out about me can like be like, whoa, he's not just this, because this is becoming popular for me, but this is just I'm just studying.
There's so much more.
There's so much more that I've done before. That's cool. This. So the squid started getting popular, and I took it. I finally moved to Austin, and this is in 3 years ago. 2016-ish. Yeah, 2016.
17 maybe.
2017. Okay. Well, sorry. Let me not go that far. I got to have my first art show, which was back in California.
In Cali.
Okay, so my first art show, California, was 2014. It was a raw artist thing. I'm finally like putting my art out there, and people hit me up on Instagram. The country, I think, they hit me up on Instagram, like, yo, you should be an artist in our show. We have a big group art show. I did all my research on it. Did my research. I'm like, all right, this looks like a good thing. It's at the Hard Rock San Diego, Hard Rock Cafe,
cool,
San
Diego. Legit spot.
I'm like, wow, that's a cool venue to get in. I have to sell all these tickets or whatever. I'm like, well, I know a lot of people.
Yeah, I think that's how they operate.
I could do it. That was kind of weird, but I was like, all right, whatever. I could do that. I got a lot of people, and they were probably gonna buy some art. So I did it. I sold like a lot of artwork that night. It was my first art show, and I was like, whoa, this is it. Like, I could do this. I sold more art than anybody in that place, guaranteed.
Really?
Guaranteed. And I was like, this is it. Like, I know how to do this. This is easy. This is really easy. Like, I didn't spend really much time on painting all this work. This is like a week or a month of my life on paintings. And I sold it and like made some money, and I could do that. I could do this for the rest of my life. This is nothing. So I was like, all right, I'm gonna do this. So went home, started painting a lot more, and that's when it clicked. And I was like, all right, I gotta get into more group shows. I did a couple more like chocolate and.
What do you mean chocolate? Is that
It's like another one of these raw art shows. Another group art show where they have like these little gimmicks that kind of like get people to come to your art show or come to the show. And
they want to make sure there's people that come.
Yeah, and there's something extra there for not just art,
Is it like food and dance?
Yeah, just like food and like other stuff, or just like they just got like pancakes and like beer and like something random like that. So I did a couple of those shows, and I just kind of like was trying to take in all that I could of like who's selling the most, why are they selling more than I am?
What style is more popular than the other?
When I'm selling, why am I selling? So I kind of took in everything. I saw that like big pieces were selling more at those shows because there's a shit ton of artwork, and like what are you gonna look at when you got a little piece? Like that's hard to see in like a wall of madness, you know.
It's got to stand out.
Yeah, it had to stand out. So I'm like, I gotta make sure that my art stands out in those kind of environments if I'm gonna put myself in that environment.
I see.
And then I started getting into more group shows, and I thought that was cool. But then I don't know, once I was in LA doing all that, and I just saw that it's really watered down, and I was like, man, and the scooter thing started dying down for me. And I'm like, man.
So now you're gone from the company.
Yeah, I'm on my way out. I'm on my way out. So I'm on my way out of the company from scootering.
And designing for them.
Yeah. And I'm like, I don't know what to do. I'm sleeping on my grandma's couch, like this 20-year-old couch, bro. Like,
hey,
lumpy.
It happens.
I was like grind life, and like I've been homeless all in these time, like during this time. Like,
well, what did your dad think about all this time period?
I'm figuring out life. That's what I mean, at the end of the day, he's just like, you know,
but
figuring out life.
Did he support, or was he more like, you're never gonna learn, or this, or was he like?
Me and my dad had a tough relationship once I moved on and did my own thing. He ended up marrying one of our neighbors.
Oh my!
And I won't go too far into
that's another episode.
Yeah, that's another episode. But yeah, he moved across the country to North Carolina with my little brother. They moved out there, so I was away from them for a long. I didn't really see him. Personally, unless he came to the airport one time when I was like in North Carolina going to Europe. And,
oh my!
Yeah, so we had a couple beers and got to talk about it. But I didn't really see him much. It was always on the phone, and he kind of basically started a whole new family, and he didn't really have time to like really do that with me. And he was like,
"You're growing up. You're a man.
I'm growing up. I'm becoming a man. I don't got time, you know.
Yeah. You're not going to the park with daddy.
There's a whole song about that, you know. Yeah. And so. And that's what it was. I'm growing up. I'm figuring out life, and he understood. I think he understood that. But he just kind of let me do my thing, and that's cool. I understand that. And finally, I started figuring things out. And my mom, she moved to Austin, Texas. She started. Like things were going good for her.
She's working or whatever she's doing.
And she's good. She's like, hey, you need to come out here. Austin's got good vibes. They got the South by Southwest Festival out here every year. I've been seeing it on Instagram. I always wanted to go to that. And then at this time, I have been seeing the graffiti park downtown in Austin.
Oh yeah, Castle Hill.
I've been seeing Castle Hill.
Which it recently closed. I think, right?
It did. It was popping up on my feed because I was into graffiti, and I'm like on Instagram looking on. You know, all the graffiti stuff, and I see Castle Hill popping up. I'm like, man, that's just a free place to just go ahead.
Just do your thing.
Yeah, so.
Hey, let me ask you real quick, have you hooked up with Spray TX yet?
Yep.
With Mouth and all them?
I know a few people from Spray TX.
Okay, there's numerous.
They know of me. Yeah, most of them know of me.
Yeah.
I'm not, like I said, I don't really do too much graffiti and, like, stuff. And that group's a little tight knit. They kind of like stick to themselves, not to themselves. They stick to.
They have their crew.
To their group. They're to their crew.
They have their
totally
crew.
Understandable. I understand that.
Yeah.
And I'm not from here.
Put your real quick before I forget, if you don't mind, just put your. I just don't want it rubbing on your mic, but you're good.
Yes, sir.
Go ahead.
Like I said, they're a tight crew. They stick to themselves, and I'm not really. I've done murals in Austin, and So I'm seeing the graffiti park, and I'm like, Mom, you know what? I'm gonna make the move, make the adjustment. LA is watered down for art. I've been going to these group shows. It's really watered down. Let's go for a new scenery and see if I can do it in another place.
True.
So I packed up everything not everything I had. I just kind of I honestly left like I had a room of stuff and a bed, and I left it with my cousins at my grandma's house. I upgraded them. They had like shit, like they had like dirt. So I was like, man, I can't really take this. Like, I'm gonna just upgrade your room.
Were you driving or flying?
I drove. I rented a car. I rented a car because I didn't have a car at the time either. So but I'm 25, so I could rent a car. And
that's right. Yeah, that's the age.
Yeah. So I like rented a car and got my mom to help me and all that. But I left these kids with a dope room and some art and all that stuff. And then I took just like a bag and my scooter and a little bit of art and stuff. And I moved into my mom's apartment. Now I'm in Austin. So, but the whole thing with being in Austin was I wanted to like stack up and become more of a man. I didn't have a car. I haven't had a steady real job in like forever. I wanted to, you know, see if I could be a real man for a little bit.
True.
I don't know, just see if I could.
How was your mom compared to your dad, though?
My mom was so supportive of everything that I do.
Was she constantly on the phone with you,
always
even when you weren't near her?
Yeah, always.
Okay.
Always calls me, always. No butt dialing. My dad butt dialed me like a million times.
I see.
So, yeah.
So your mom was totally more supportive, totally more on board.
I owe her a lot.
I see. Did she ever try to put you in a certain, like, you need to be doing this? I like that, but you need
never.
Okay.
No, never. She's just supported 100%.
That's cool.
She's like, you know exactly what you need to do. Like,
yeah.
I understand it, and like, I don't know. Sometimes she just makes sure like she's in my ear with certain things that I need to get done. You know.
Yeah.
Like make sure you get your
just
car
a little
kind of
a little.
Make sure you pay your car. Make sure you pay your car.
Moms do stuff like that.
Yeah. So I finally get out here. I get a good job doing construction.
Yeah.
Building pools. With a bunch of Mexican homies and just like my mom, one of her friends owned the pool business, so he just gave me a job. And, so I'm mixing concrete on the back of a thing. I'm like doing
cool to learn how that's
man's work, you know. And I get a nice car, get my Volkswagen 2015 GTI. Finally, dream. Finally, I got a nice car. I'm driving around, and it was beautiful. I'm like, all right, cool. I'm getting it. So I'm doing a little bit of art. Not so much because
you kind of slow down a little bit.
Because I'm working, I'm tired, and when I get home from work, I go home early. But I'm painting every once in a while.
Yeah.
Once I get settled in here, I start painting again.
Okay.
I put some pieces on the internet. I do auctions. I don't know if you've seen. I do an auction sometime here and there on my Instagram.
Yeah, I recently found out about you. That's why I'm not sure of everything.
Every now and then I'll do like a Instagram auction. I'll put up a piece. You know, and just put a low.
But is it goes to like eBay?
No, just on through my Instagram. Through a post. There's a whole formula that I have saved on my phone, and I just change the title of the picture of the painting, and then the date that it ends, and the reserve price, and all that stuff.
Oh, okay.
So I put it up there, and then the people go crazy or they don't go crazy.
So like,
most of the time they go crazy. It's cool to see people battle for paintings.
Yeah.
And it just go back and forth and see how bad people really want stuff. And
so do you do any paid advertising or not really?
Every once in a while, yeah. So I've just been getting really good at like with my whole social media in the last year or two.
It's a science in itself to figure it out.
I'm trying to figure out what's working for me. And I have, at that time, I'm still on my Instagram that's got scooter following. So my artwork wasn't really, now that I'm not really scootering anymore at this time, my artwork I'm posting isn't really like hit or miss. So like the scooter kids are kind of like, yo, what happened to the scooters? Like, I want to see a scooter riding on your page.
Yeah, and then you start losing followers and
I started going to
the same Instagram handle, by the way.
Yeah, same Instagram handle.
Okay. For all these
knows
years.
Me, Louis V. Yeah.
Okay.
Louis _V. And I'm scooter. I'm not posting that anymore. I'm started going to the graffiti park.
It's all art now.
It took me like a few months after I moved to Austin to go to the graffiti park, but I finally go there. Right. Okay. I bring some paint. I like put up a piece. You know, everybody's welcoming. But I noticed like some people selling art.
Yeah. They don't they have like a little, or they did have a trailer type of something.
Yeah, I heard they used to, but I wasn't there when they had that. They had already moved on from that. There's just like a bunch of tables with tents over it, you know. Yeah. And the people selling framed art, and I'm like, I can do that. All right, let me see like what I can do. So I had a show at South by Southwest.
Yeah.
I couldn't tell you the year.
Yeah.
It's like the first year.
Somewhere between 2017 and
20. The first year I moved. I think like
16 or 17.
The first year after I get my job, right? I get my job. It's October 2017.
Okay.
2017.
Yeah.
I think.
Somewhere around there.
Somewhere around there. And I'm like, all right, I have my job. I'm doing good. I get my car, all that stuff. This is South by Southwest comes up.
Yeah.
I have an art show. I get an art show during South by Southwest. So one of my friends, he had seen my art and stuff, and he's like, "Yo, I got a gallery space. Come show, you know." He's like having a show at South by Southwest. Yeah. It's a rap show or whatever like that. Okay. And he's like, he does like promoting and stuff like that. He's a rapper himself. Yeah. He's like, "Come bring your art to my show that I'm having." I got
who's the dude, by the way?
His name's Reggie Mills. Reggie Mills. He does a lot of setting up shows. Like when I met him, I just knew him for setting up a lot of shows and making a little bit of music. But he makes more music now. I see. And he's like, "Yo, come bring all your art. You're fire. Like, yeah, whatever you want. You have the whole space." So,
oh wow.
I end up this is crazy. God,
what was it? What was the venue?
It's a place on the east side, off Chacon. It's
I mean, there's so many compressed.
Dude, it's not even like it's like a hole in the wall.
Some little janky spot.
Yeah, like where they do where girls practice the roller derby on that little court outside. There's like a brick building. Yeah, there's like a brick building right there, and I have a mural still there and everything. Oh. Yeah, and it's cool. Like the guys that were leasing the spot, I became good friends with them, so that became my place where I could work too. So I started working there after South by Southwest.
Working like where you could paint?
I could paint there.
Oh,
yeah.
Okay,
so
okay.
like
warehouse space.
Yeah, for like
studio.
Couple months, 3 months. This is good. And then that crashed out, and then that didn't happen. And then I had to paint at my house, and I'm still painting. And like I'm finding out like painting is the thing because I've gone to the park now. I've seen that you can like sell stuff there, and I figured out how to make prints myself. Yeah. So this is crazy. The print thing is crazy. Like damn, we don't have time, bro.
You got to get.
Yeah, we don't got time.
Give us a 60-second overview.
So the print thing, I found a print shop downtown.
Okay.
They made prints for cheap. I put a few people on after I figured out how to make prints for $1 pretty much.
Yeah.
It was cool. I mean, we made prints. We go to the graffiti park. We'd sell them. So I'd make a bunch of paintings during the week. Okay. And then I would go to the graffiti park and I would sell my paintings and prints. Like I'd sell out every weekend. Like, it was crazy. Every weekend. That's what
$5, $10, $15 or
no. So we had to find the price point. We'd started out a little bit higher, and then we go down, and then $40 became the price point of our 16 by 20 canvases. Okay. So I'd make like 5 to 10 every week, and I'd go out and sell 5 to 10 every weekend, and then I would have all the prints too, and then those would be $5 each. And I'd sell the little prints and frames, and the frames would be $10 each. So I have like a little
your little system going.
Different prices for everybody that's walking by. There's like hundreds of people walking by.
The cheap people and the ballers that want to spend.
I had to figure all this out. So with that park, I kind of had like a storefront. I had a way to figure out business and how to sell art and all that.
So like, let me ask you this. So these right here
weren't into play yet.
Okay, but let me ask you this. So, but something like this, okay? Because I know some artists said, I spent 3 months on that one piece, and I spent 2 years. Something like these. Just real quick, the story of these two. How long did they truly actually take you? Did you just boom, 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 boom?
3 days, 2 days.
But how many hours per day? Was it literally 6, 7, 8 hours straight, or?
Yeah, like 6. Sometimes I paint 12 hours a day, 6 hours a day. Yeah. But these, like.
Let's just say an evening, a full evening.
Full evening, and then the next day is like touching up and the fire, extra little details and stuff, make sure everything looked right. I get the painting pretty much done the first day, and then the next couple days are all.
So you're just you don't sit on it overnight and think of something new.
And I think graffiti was the reason of that because you have to be quick, and I just kind of like got really good at making impressionist looking stuff, real quick strokes. You can see it real loose, and my real detailed, clean stuff is done really fast too. I do them in 5 days instead of 2 days, So
that's cool.
So this all came in the last. All these I went to art
the larger this style.
I guess I can jump forward now. Now I'm in Austin.
We got about 10 more minutes.
I figured out art in Austin. I've had plenty of shows.
What the people want.
Yeah, what the people want. Like, there's a really good community out here in Austin of artists, and they've been more than welcoming to a person that's not from here. All that stuff. And there's a lot of people that aren't from here that are artists in Austin that have come up. And I just kind of like kept to myself in a way, but also have gone and kiss, shake hands and kiss babies like the president and all the art
really
shows.
Have to, yeah.
So I try to make sure that my face is well known in the art community by at least showing up here and there and all this.
Or you could be like Banksy and just not even show up.
Yeah, but for me to like come up so fast, I had that's the only way I could see it, and that's the way I know. So I did that, and I got up and I got my name out here in Austin. I got murals, all this stuff. Everybody knows pretty much everybody knows who Lewy V. If you're an artist, they know who I am. And what I've done at the park and sold and stuff. And then
you're a hustler. You're a hustler
so
too.
I've never before before Art Basel, which is in Miami, in December, early December last year.
Okay.
Before then, I'd never been to like a place to see master artwork or anything like that, and see like.
Don't they got the walls in Miami also? What do they call them?
Wynwood walls.
Wynwood walls, yeah.
In Wynwood, this is where Art Basel is mostly at, and they have all the murals everywhere. I finally got to see like master artwork like that, and people that are alive still. Like I've seen some Picasso, some George Condo, some Ron English. I've seen all these guys that I've looked up to.
What did you think when you saw it? Like
when I see them,
right there in front of you?
What's really cool was I saw what I do in all of their paintings, and I got to see how they exploit it and like in their ways and their funny ways, and it just made me laugh. And I'm just like, I am good. You can put me right here, and I'm good.
I know. Well, because see, this is the style that I know you do so many different styles. We'll call it. This is the type of style that I personally like. That's why I was attracted immediately. Like, yo, who is this dude?
And I came back, and I've done portraits before. I saw all this stuff, and I know there's a formula for art and music and all this stuff.
But who's inspiring you though?
Taking from old what you like old and making it yours and making it mine, right?
And who's doing that for you though?
George Condo is what this is. George Condo and Picasso. I have like a little mixture, and then a little bit of Salvador Dali with like the surrealistic like. Just random, like the way
the Squid, not the Squid, like the melted looking type
melted and contorted a little bit.
Okay.
So I've mixed all that together and made this stuff, and that's kind of what it is right now. That's what this portrait style of absurdity is what I've dubbed it.
Okay.
Absurdity. It's my absurdity.
And in 12 months, you might go on to something else.
I plan on it. I plan on now that people are. I guess this is kind of breaking me into the art world a little bit more, and I have a lot of stuff that's my own that nobody does kind of stuff. So I want to like show that to people, let them know that I have this total other stuff that you put them next to each other. You think there's two artists in the room. It's me.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's dope.
Yeah. So,
that's dope.
Yeah, it's really cool. So that's what's next. I think after like 2020, I want to let people know that this ain't it. Like this has just been fun for me.
Well, you reinvent yourself also. It's like good example. You can get a
longevity.
Yeah, you can get an Eminem album from 1990. I remember probably 2000, September 11th had just hit. 2000, 2001, right around that time is when I first heard of Eminem, and I'm jamming Real Slim Shady, whatever it was. And obviously that was back then. This is 19 years ago. But you look at his albums over the years, and he kind of has grown up also, and then reinvented himself because he's also going through different experiences now. You know, so I think maybe as an artist, do you think that your experiences in life or your art is mimicking experiences in life? Or is it just like in the mood of the moment, you're just doing what you think is best? Or what you want to show the world?
So I've been playing with the idea. Sometimes, a lot of times my art is just from nothing. I'll just, like in my brain, I'll just start thinking and painting and let the paint just like do its magic. But lately I've been noticing that the most response, I get more response when I'm like relating to like popular things that are going on. And I've been taking a lot from like memes and stuff on Twitter and like kind of flipping it, and like memes of rappers, mainly like rappers doing funny things and like painting them and
that's cool. Yeah, a Lil Uzi.
Yeah, the Lil Uzi stuff that I've been doing.
A few
lately,
others.
My Playboy Cardi stuff, just like Playboy Cardi and those guys are
21 Savage drawing?
Yeah, my 21 Savage drawing that I did, like just that.
There's on and on, I'm sure.
Yeah, just the rappers doing, like, looking funny or just looking proper, like painting like a painting pose, you know, and then like making it an actual painting, you know. That's there's people that do it with digital art and stuff like that, and I've been kind of seeing how good of a response they do, but nobody really doing it with paintings on a scale that I'm doing it.
True.
Like from my generation, so I'm just
and I love the big pieces. I mean, my thing is, I fully respect everyone doing any kind of art, but my personal style, if I'm gonna have something dope at home, I want it big.
Yeah.
Honestly. Yeah. I mean, I need to have something big because it needs to make a statement when people walking like, yo, that's pretty cool. Damn right.
I respect that. I respect that fully. Yeah, I've been like, I've always been on like maybe on a smaller scale of paintings, and that was only because I just didn't have space. Now I've had more space, and I've been realizing that obviously these have so much more when you walk into a room, the energy and the just
because then you can sell these at businesses too.
Yeah, exactly.
Have a marketing agency, you know, if you're like, hey, I'll sell you all this for $600, $1,000, whatever your prices are, because they would like to say this is a local artist, and it could be something really dope of maybe the founder, or you know, just little things like that, or maybe someone influential. In Mia Khalifa lives here in Austin. You could do no, she does. You could do a crazy Mia Khalifa one, and you know, hit up her manager, and it could be something just to give Mia Khalifa, because the manager only has, I think, 1,100 people on Instagram. So it's easy to get to the manager, and it could be a gift to her, to where she puts it on her page, because you could literally be with Mia Khalifa in 15 minutes to give it to her personally. If she posts out on her page with millions of followers, dude, that's game over. Because the thing is, people with money follow her, and they're like, who is this dude? We want a piece. If Mia Khalifa has a piece, we want a piece. But there's plenty of celebrities and such, but just an idea.
That's definitely a thing that I try to tap into. I have a few rapper friends, and this guy named Xavier Wolf, he's well known in the underground hip hop community. And every time I'm in California, I always make sure I say what up and to see if he need a painting.
Get him a little something.
He has like 3 of my originals painted up in his house. So, and when he's recording, he has the one I did of him right in front of his mic. So
that's cool.
Every time he's recording a new song, he's looking at my painting.
Well, we've got about 4 minutes left, 5 minutes left. Now let me ask you, to close it out, what is some words of inspiration or information that you would like to pass on, not just to other artists, but other people that say, hey, I've always wanted to do something like this, and I'm actually good, I just don't know where to start, or because now it's a different ball game to where you've got the Instagram, Facebook, just everything now where distribution of content is easy to reach your market. So what are your words of advice or encouragement or information?
I think that once you hit that point where you're like, this is exactly what I want to do, and you want to put 110, 150% into artwork.
It's go time.
Because you have to if you're going to like take it to this level that I'm taking it to. Once you find that out, once you're ready for that, the best thing to do is create as much as possible.
I see.
Because then you have all this content to put out there, do things with. I've been selling my drawings that I make all the time, and they're like 5-10 minute drawings, right? And I've been selling it this $10, $20, but that's free money for me, literally, because I can put those out all day.
Nobody with the IRS is watching, by the way.
So, like I could, you know,
it's gas money for just, you know, take a girl out money, whatever,
so that I can live. Like, you know, it's very hard to be an artist and have a steady income because you gotta go get a job. Well, I'm making it so that I have a steady income and I don't have to go get a job, and I can keep doing what I love. And
the more, I think the more you actually draw, the more you learn. Because I mean, my assumption would be every piece is also a learning experience.
So create every day, just as long as it's something that you're making. Like if it's a drawing, at least you got that drawing for later on. You could turn into a painting, or you could do whatever. You know, somebody might like it, or later on, or you have like 1,000 drawings that you could have an art show with 1,000 drawings in. You know what I mean?
And you can get, nowadays you can get content and you can distribute, like you said. You know, when I first linked up with you was because of the dollar. I was like, dollar prints, these are dope. So, but it also could be a big painting. It could be this. It could be this.
It could turn into a lot more.
Turn it into keychains. Turn it into mugs. Turn it into. And I know it might sound kind of corny, but if it's somebody wants a mug with one of your pieces, you can literally have those made for like $4 or $5, but flip them for 20. So now your artwork starts really getting into office buildings. Hey, where's that from? I didn't see that at HEB.
I've definitely tapped in with all of that. Like
shoes and
get a website. That's another thing. Get a website and get it through Shopify. I'd say get it through Shopify because they have a very good program for artists to get their artwork on anything. It's a really good platform. It's helped me out tremendously.
I see. Well, it's really dope. I appreciate your time and you bring in these beautiful pieces. I wish I could keep them, but I know they're not.
I got you, bro.
I got mine coming.
Yeah, you got mine. You got custom. It's gonna be. I'm gonna blow it up, make it big on Instagram and everything.
I appreciate that. No, I'm gonna blast it out too because my thing is like, I respect not just other creators, but if it's somebody that, you know, has done something for me, I'm like, you know what? I want the world to see who this dude is.
Yeah, no,
because what I personally think is, I think you're just beginning. No, I'm serious. Because you've done your run with this and this and this, but I think you as an artist, you're just beginning. Let me rephrase that. This is just beginning. I got on board with you early. Even though I know this is beyond where you're currently at, I'm like, this dude has no clue how he's about to take off.
Thank you. I love hearing that, bro.
No, I'm serious.
I appreciate that.
This dude has no clue how he's about.
I don't hear it.
He has no clue how he's about to take off, and this is really just the beginning for you. Once you start learning how to finesse that social media and Instagram and Facebook and all this stuff, and really start learning it, dude, it's worldwide now. It's worldwide now.
Yeah, no, I appreciate it.
But other than that, Louis V, I appreciate your time. Thank you, brother. Yeah, no doubt.
Thank you, man. I appreciate it.
Beautiful pieces.
Hey.